It's definitely not been a perfect 12 months. I know I come back looking like an Avenger or whatever, but it wasn't easy to get there. Lots of fall offs, lots of getting back on the horse, and several crash outs. I really had to check myself. Yo, what's happening? This is your guy, Freed. Welcome to The Art of Being Freed. And this is episode 3, The Art of Consistency. I became so obsessed with being consistent that I believe it led to my burnout because I was so wanting to make sure I showed up every single day. And I'll give you an example. For the social media, when I started the page Freed podcast back in 2022, the advice I was given it was that when you come out with your podcast or your YouTube page, that you should show up for at least 35 weeks. So I would do a podcast every Friday for 35 weeks. And I did that for like 50 weeks, actually. I went into the end of the year, into the next year. By the time I got to the end of the year, I had multiple of my videos just started popping. I remember all of a sudden it was like lots and lots of views, lots of comments, lots of followers. In my own sense, in my way, that I was like, wow, this is worth doing. And I just stopped one day and I got comfortable with it, and I started to just repurpose. And I think the repurposing, I leaned on all the content I made, and it became easy to just not make anything because I had so much that I've been talking and whatever about. And I fell off. I essentially just fell off. I purposely fell off, but when you come back, it really is building awareness all over again. So I'm talking about social media sense. What do you do when you fall off in life? Very first thing I'd recommend is finding an accountability partner, someone that can work with you, someone that you can say, hey, this is my goal. Can you just check in with me every day at this time to make sure that I did what I said I was going to do? This accountability partner needs to be someone that you trust, someone you can lean on, someone that will show up for you, someone that has shown up for you. Or it could be someone that you meet through a peer group. There are a lot of peer groups online, a lot of communities online that you can join and find accountability partners there. This could be for any walk of life. As an introvert, I did my best to keep away from everyone. And I think that hurt me in the long run because when I really did need people, it was hard to find them. So I really do encourage you to find accountability partners in areas of your life where you need more accountability, because now you're not in it alone. Self-integrity is a really big deal, but a lot of people don't come through for themselves. It just is what it is. So when you have an accountability partner that help you navigate what you're wanting to be better at, it's just a lot easier to stay on task. In the last video, I talked about waking up every morning at 5 a.m. for 2 weeks. Have you been doing that? I want to make sure you're doing that. Check in, leave it in the comments if you've been waking up every morning at 5 a.m. That's a good habit to build. So when you're building consistency, it usually starts with small habits, like little things that you can do for yourself. I have work every day and it's at 8 o'clock. I don't even think about that because I have gym every morning at 4:30. So like that's my personal commitment to myself that I built into a habit that it's like even today was my day off, but I still had gym at 4:30. So it's like that's a habit that I built. The habit has to be so strong that it ties into this question I heard once upon a time that has always stuck with me in my heart. And that's, how bad do you want it? So if you really are desiring change in your life and you want to become consistent at something to get to your goal, how bad do you want it? You need to want it enough to where that habit will be so strong that it will get you out of bed at 4 o'clock in the morning on a Friday on your day off. That's how consistent you need to get. You've been consistent. You built those good habits. Something's happened. Maybe you're not showing up. One day you're not showing up. Maybe it's turned into a pattern. So let's stop quick before it turns into a pattern. The very first time you don't show up, maybe you're listening to this right now and you've been doing so good at something and you didn't show up. You failed to show up. That's okay, because you can start again. You have the opportunity to do it today, right now. And the same goes for if you started something and you fell off quite some time ago. You can still come back now. But people fall off. And the biggest mistake I ever made when I would stop is I would reserve myself to the fact that it wasn't meant to be. And there are some things that are not. Some things are just done. But when it comes to building a habit that will improve you, that's something you should pay attention to. People talk about signals versus noise. A signal is anything that will improve you personally. You've been consistent, it could be for years, and you messed up. Okay. Hey, I messed up. You could say that to yourself. I messed up. It's not going to happen again. Okay. This is where your accountability partner can come into play. Reach out to them, connect with them, right? It was tough for me because, again, I'm an introvert, very private person. So it's tough for me to find accountability partners. Maybe your accountability partner is a therapist. You don't know. Try it, right? But you have to have an accountability partner in something. So falling off, it happens. The goal is to not live in the fall off. Okay, unless you're, in ghost mode, but you just came out of ghost mode. You become a morning person. You started developing good habits. You're human. People slip. It happens. The blessing is being able to wake up the next morning and be like, yo, I woke up. I have an opportunity to do it again. I have an opportunity to get back on track. You fall off the horse, you get back on and keep going. It's tough sometimes. You get back on a little wobbly, but you steady the ship over time. I was consistent in working out for years, and then I fell off. I fell off so bad. I gained a bunch of weight. I pinched a nerve in my neck. I could barely move. I could barely draw. I couldn't play video games. I was pressing the button with my finger instead of my thumbs. You know what I mean? It was wild. I'm like, man, I'm never going to work out again. Habits were terrible. Diet was crazy whack. But I came back. I had to, go into ghost mode and work on recommitting myself to being a morning person and giving committed time to myself. And I still fell off. In the last 12 months, I had several fall offs. It's definitely not been a perfect 12 months. I know I come back, looking like an Avenger or whatever, but it wasn't easy to get there. Lots of fall offs, lots of getting back on the horse, and several crash outs. I really had to check myself. So you build the consistency, you fall off a few times, but you get back on, and it's not about the miss, it's about the overall narrative. I'm consistent over a certain amount of time, but I fall off. But if I can come back, get consistent again, I could go back, look at my body of work over time in that specific area and see how I've improved. So it's not about the moment. It's not about the moment of falling off. It's not about the moment of inconsistency. It's really about the narrative over time, the work that you put in over time. That's where you're going to win. So I mentioned I crashed out. I definitely crashed out. I crashed out a lot over the last year. And the next episode, we're going to get real personal because, man, some people don't make it past the crash out. We're going to talk about it on the next episode of The Art of Being Freed. If you like this episode, please leave it a like. If you're listening and podcast, please leave a 5-star review. Until then, this is your guy, Freed, with The Art of Being Freed, and I will see you soon. Peace.